Anyone on? It's a bit laggy. Very laggy today. If I refresh the internet, it's probably going to cut me off, isn't it? Even the laptop's a bit laggy. Oh, I got full strength. No, I haven't. Yes, I have. I'm looking at one there. It's the bloody solar system. So we got one watching, hiding in the background. Excuse me, I'm full of cold. Right, trying to tweak a bit of track. It's on the bend, and the lightweight Lima wagons are starting to. They were running, but as soon as you try and film a clip, top floor, they start derailing after a few smooth runs. I think it probably would be a problem point. Yes, yes. Seems to have. That one out. Loosening that off and taking the tack out. Shame I can't get a piece of plate in there. Just drive a little tack in. Push that across. Turn it off then. Andy! Is the fan a bit noisy? If you can hear the whoosh from the hot air heater. See what it's on. It's on there. It's on 3.8 hertz, so it's just. Knock it down to 2.9. Hi Charlie, hi Mick. Only going to be on till about 5, but I've been sodding about, running the train. I'll get the camera out. And it start derailing. Yeah, I have moved the beam though. It's further back. Well, it's as back as far as it will go. It's normally I'd have cracked my head here. And I have quickly codged up a 5-foot strip light. Just gonna. A lot smoother than it was. And the workbench there is the one that was underneath. So I've made a foot. Mike said he got some kitchen feet. I thought I've got some of them as well. So I've just made basically a T bracket out of a bit of 2x4 and some batten, screwed that on the bottom, and then just trimmed it a little bit, which is supporting this side that you can't see. So supporting this side here. Now that's brought it down, and as you can see, I've got the backdrops up that were originally with it. I've just screwed some batten to the back, just hung it on the side, and then clamped it underneath. So let's have another go. See how long it is before. That makes a lot of difference. Try out one of my panel controllers. Which has got the simulator on, so it takes a bit of a while to warm up. I think there's quite a bit of voltage drop because we get around the bend there and it barely moves. So I haven't yet got around with the meter. Still a bit jolty, the old stream, isn't it? I ain't got anything, Charlie. I'd need a lot of it. It's angled as well, so you learn the hard way. Now, as it makes its way over there and reconnects to this stretcher track, you see it goes up in speed. Not so much this time, but down on the yeah, after obviously I've been running it around, so the wheels are probably dirty, so it's a bit jolty, but I've cleaned the track again. But whoever had done these Lima tankers put Hornby couplings on them, they cut the original long gangly Lima ones off. and then put a little screw in and use the Hornby couplings. And they did stick consistent with the brand. Some of them are plastic, some are metal. And I think as a result, with some of them being a thinner profile, when you get the jolts and they rock forward, they will ride up on one another sometimes. They do sit closer now than they did with the old Dapol couplings, but they can get buffer lock if you're not careful. Not so bad on third radius. I haven't took it on the inner loop. As you can see, I'll put some more goodies on here to try later on. Seems to be behaving itself now, but then it ran okay at the start of the last time. Quite bigger. See the view from the creek. Much lens flare there. I haven't bought any of theirs, Mick. I nearly did buy some of their well cars. By the time you get them here, they're just as expensive as me buying a Walters one. I have got some of their shipping containers, though. They are very good. They're on par with the Sea Rail ones. Just a shame they don't do some HO ones as well. Yeah, everything you see on here, Charlie, was part of the layout. There was a big girder bridge. I've still got it. I boxed it up because originally what he's done here was there's a roadway coming up here, all the way up here, and it went over the span with a girder bridge, which is a codge of Triang, Hornby, and a Roco girder bridge. And then it got sort of like a made-up block over the far side there. You can see the grey bit, which is where it sat, and then his photograph backdrop disappears off with the road. So we got the perspective there, so that you went over the bridge and disappeared off into the interstate there. He's done the same over there, if you can see in the distance. The tracks marry up with the picture of the train going off around the bend. So we've got the other little bridge there, which goes over the creek. About as far as I can reach with a laptop without a powered USB. And then we come along the dry riverbed. Don't know what he was going to do there. Just a shame the screen's a bit pixelated. Well, I've just looped the wires round, Charlie, to connect back up to the hodgepodge that he got. For some reason, this part, this section up here, this section here, had no electrical connection in the middle. For some reason, I don't know why. He had no signalling, so I don't think he was running, you know, block controls. And it was the same down where the train now is. That section was got wiring only to link on that far bend. This side, what the bridge span is now going over, where the loco head is down, that's connected there, but there's no loop. There's no electrical connection. There's a joint there between these two pieces, and it runs over. There's no wire from here to there. So that bit's got supply from this side. This side is supplied from that side. So the other lot of wiring is there. The other ones hanging there are for the turnout. Tie out. So I've just grabbed a little bit of scrap wire that was lying off the scrap I took off of it just to loop that white cable you can see here is looping these two sections here. And then I've managed to find a wire that will go over to this far track, which has given me some power down to the sidings. But as soon as you go over the turnout, as it's not fed only by the turnout, and the switching is a bit manky, they're a bit erratic running. And the far end section, the last foot is dead, which I suppose isn't a bad thing because it stops you from running the train head on into the board there. So I presume he probably used this for switching and backed all these wagons in and ran his train back up. And then we've got the one that goes to nowhere there. As you can see, if you look on the picture, it's slightly out of angle there. There is a track going off around past that building, which again married up to his backdrop. And then you've got the washing out a bit there for some reason. Try the light off. The big grey square is where the road was. Give it a shot. Out the tunnel. Seems to be running A-OK at the minute, which is bound to mean it's going to start derailing again now. He did run Pennsylvania stock, Charlie, which has now found a good home at Andy's. There probably could be that influence somewhere with a lot of woodland and mountainous regions. You didn't do that bit there though. Well, we got a low piece here because originally he had metal shelving, and this section of track ran through the metal shelving, which is why there's only like it's not even a foot wide, I don't think, this bit here. 10 inches, well, 9.5 width there. It looks like it's running A-OK now. The only other bit I thought would be an issue is the joint there, just where my finger is, because that's where the board did tilt. You could see when I had the backboard up there was a gap about 1 inch wide here because it dropped down so much this end. But now I've sort of dropped this piece here Just leveled it up. The track has got a little bit of a high spot. The middle one here is quite smooth, but the inside loop has got a little bit of a lift to it. I have put the screws in now. It's, well, see, this one's not wired out, but there is quite a sharp bit in there. Although again, I could take the tack out and raise it up if I want to get this one wired in and use this again, but obviously I'd have to replace the section of track here and the piece that goes behind the laptop because that's shot. And this bit here has, so I'd have to replace all of that bit. There is a solder joint there, but there's various sort of droppers up in there. There's a loop that goes to the back of that train track that it's now running on, but the inside one doesn't have a loop. The other cable goes to the far side and powers that back section. Yeah, we're still getting a bit of voltage drop down the far end, I think. Voltage drop down the far end, I think. Yeah, I'm going to have to basically move a lot again if I do that bit bigger. Because obviously it's not going to line up with the indentations of the track. It looks like I can literally start rubbing it off with my fingers, so I don't think it will take a lot with a little thin decorating scraper with a spray bottle. I think he's used balsa wood as a track bed. Unless there's something underneath the balsa wood, but on the top of it in section. Yeah, balsa wood. Cheers, Andy. See you later, mate. I don't know how old the layout is, so it's predates. It's all nickel, so there's no steel track on it. So it's obviously at late 80s onwards. Yeah, it's just smoothing out the track a bit more. That seems to have done the job down that end. Probably have to do exactly the same thing on the inside route. I'll try some of this other rolling stock with some of the coat stock. Obviously the old Lima ones have got big chunky flanges on them, but that being said, if there's any track out of alignment, they catch the flange and throw it off anyway, so it's not always a case of it keeping it on the track. When I was using it last, I was using this one last night, I repaired it, and the capacitor come off that was on the output switch. I was using it and I thought, something smells like it's getting hot. And there was an explosion in my palm of my hand. And the capacitor took a shit in my hand. So that smarted for a little bit. So I'm not quite sure why it's on there. It's on the switch. unless it was wired in the wrong place, because it was damaged anyway. I put a new voltage regulator in there. But now it only seems to work between 70 and the maximum. I have to take it apart here. Seems to be slowing down more. Take the simulator off, it gives it a bit of a boost. That's not going to work. Give you a bit wider view. I've got 2 CO2 fire extinguishers at the back here, Charlie. Not that I've ever had a fire with railway. Obviously, because I do welding and everything else in it. Can you still hear me okay? Because I've got the camera above my head then. I've even got my frame out on the floor there now, Charlie, as you can see, by my kneeling mat pad. Try it. Is yours still a duck under, Charlie? Get through the door. Add some more to the train. See how these run. Bit more drag on these. Bloody dog heads. Let's see what the old air fix does now. You're pulling well. I said, is yours the duck and the Charlie? I'm a bit bunged up at the minute, full of bloody cold. Have another move again. It looks like it's going a lot faster on camera than it actually is. We have just let it hold that. Yeah, I didn't know whether you had to go on your hands and knees to get under your layout, Charlie. That's my little camera truck, that one. No, I was going to say having to go down on my hands and knees every time I want to come in and out of this layout. It's certainly not something I've done by choice. When I build the shed, it's not going to be any of that. Down a bit again. So I haven't touched the controller and that's barely moving there. Then when it gets on this straight, it will speed up again. No, there is traction tyres on this Airfix. As you can see, it's quite a good puller. weaklings. It'd be nice if I could take these sections out and just put fish plates in them just to guide the track back. Really struggling now, isn't it? See if that any difference. The volt between 7.6 and 8 volts on the fast bit of track. I'm not drawing the current down from this end. Ooh, gone down to 3 then. Could be me. Slipping all day. Water out. Now the voltage has not changed, the speed control has not changed. It's getting slower. And slipping. Bit of a mystery. What are those ones Barry always says about the Fleischmann traction tyres? You can stretch them around. Although obviously most of this steam, isn't it? Sucks as well as blows. Oh, see if it's the old loco getting a bit tired. Curse of the couplings. One looks slightly longer than the other. Yeah, there are 2 traction tyres on this. Whether they're getting a little bit, they're still nice and soft. They look like they're plastic wheels on the front. You could just be building up with all the crap off the track. The back ones are getting fairly grotty now. I have to give it a clean with a fiberglass pen. But it's done a fair few circuits. Can't really tell what that is. Blotching out. A little bit of build up. Yeah, so I think it could just be a bit of track detritus. That's not pulling too bad for the old girl. When I got it, I got stitched up because I never realised it had been dropped and the front coupling was snapped off. The chassis was cracked. And after I buggered about repairing all that, I can put it back on the track. It sounded like a bag of bolts because there was one carbon brush missing off it. And you couldn't get carbon brushes, so I had to and the Triangle Hornby X034 motor brushes are just a little bit too short for these. So I used the original brush holder because it was only the tip that had broke off. I managed to get some Chinese dentistry drill 2mm square carbon brushes, pulled one of them through, soldered it in place, and touch wood, it's been okay. Certainly done a good bit of testing, so it'll certainly be bedded in. Firefall. Still going like that corner. It was going through, but not now. Full beans. Must be out of sand. A little bit of a hump there as well. One small little section of crackle on its nose. Goes through that angle, all right. Give it a bit more beans. Right, Tom. Bit of a express freight train now. Wow. Certainly give it a test. It's now going into the tunnel. And just off the bend there. In one go. And I've got twice as many oil tankers. I haven't, Charlie. I haven't tried any other locos yet. I was going to dig. I've got a Bachmann V3, which I think may or may not have the crack gear. I was looking at Rouse and Sheffield. They've got the DCC version for 120 quid, but they always come up at the wrong time, don't they? So I did promise I'd get a DCC version of the same loco, but it's LNER black, where mine's green. Because I don't do the BR period, with the exception of this, because it's what I've got. Yeah, I'll have to do. I don't know what else I've got left as DC, because all them class 37s I had and my 47s, I've sold them all. They're all gone. They all went on eBay a month or so ago. So I never actually edit the videos of fixing and servicing. They're still on my computer. I just turned the diesel heater off and I'm now getting the fumes is blowing itself out. It's venting out the door, but you get a bit of blowback. Yeah, I'll have to have a rummage in the cupboard and see what else I've got left on DC. I know some of the other stuff I bought hasn't been chipped yet, so I'll have to I did do the American loco I had on the brewery layout the other week. I'll put a chip in that. But I wanted to iron out all of the issues first before I put DCC on it. So I think I'm going to have to run a new cable round rather than just codge everything together to get it working. Connect all the droppers up and put a better cable in. Yeah, I have Brian and Mr. X's shop. Yeah, I wouldn't be going and buying any more DC logos as soon as I'm DCC, but I have had a couple of bits of rolling stock off him. Yeah, some are. Oops, there's no track there. Because I think I bought these in 2 or 3 lots. Because I would have rather have had Dutch livery. I don't mind the bauxite ones, but I don't know whether it's some of these or other ones I've got. The bloke's actually sprayed. That one is a Dutch livery. He sprayed up and turned it into. I'd rather have had it as Dutch livery. Seems I've got all the fleet of maintenance away stuff. I think there's a couple of them been sprayed up from earlier editions, but those ones have got sort of like a light coating on and back on them. But some are pristine. I think some were actually brand new, old stock, because they've got the old metal wheels on them. But I think they were probably off a club layout because they've got people's initials on them. But you can see. Again, there's another one been sprayed up. But the Dutch ones fetch more money. I think I've got a load of these in their old cool liveries, you know, the old grey ones with a diagonal stripe on them. Because I was building a rake of those in my old shed prior to all the water damage. Well, for some reason this last one has got a really tight wheel. I was going to get one of them DCC Concept reaming tools. Right, well I'm going to go. It's 5 o'clock and call an end to it because there's an auction in about 11 minutes. I want to be on the scene to lose, no doubt, because someone will pay a stupid amount of money. So I will turn off my heater and obviously catch you later on, I guess, on Anthony's stream with a beer in hand. And at the minute, I came out because I'd 3D printing and the room was getting a bit stinky from the plastic. Plus, I'd also used quickset epoxy. I don't know, I think I got it off Amazon. And it absolutely stinks. It's got that real pungent smell like the old-fashioned permanent lotion. And I'd used it to glue 2 halves of a print together because nothing else was working. I'd used Neat Mech. That melted it, but not enough. Super glue, Poundland stuff was a waste of time. As soon as I picked it up, it just snapped. So it's quickset epoxy and cabinet packers to bridge the gaps. Also very useful if you want to do elevated track, rather than pay silly amounts of money for a certain 3D printing company to sell you exactly the same product. When you can buy 1mm, 2mm cabinet packers. Right, catch you laters on.